Hello traders, welcome to my video on the moving average and Ichimoku EA, which I have developed for the MT4 trading platform. You can download this EA completely free of charge using the link in the description, where you will also find many other free Forex EAs for MT4, which I have developed. Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to give you a quick run through of the EA, the settings, and how you can use it. So here we have the MT4 trading platform. Okay, this is just a visual chart showing a back test that I have just done with the EA. Okay, this is the strategy tester window we have here. I've selected the moving average and Ichimoku EA. Symbol, I've chosen the euro dollar. You can use any trading symbol. So you can use Forex, stocks, cryptos, indices, precious metals, gold, silver, whatever you like. You just need the MT4 trading platform, and available instruments will of course depend on your broker. So for the testing model, I've chosen open prices only. I've done this because the EA uses the open prices of the indicators for its calculations, and it's a lot faster for testing purposes. However, when you want to fine tune your settings, you will want to switch over to every tick, simply because this uses intrabar prices, which will be more accurate when it comes to the stop loss, take profit, break even, trailing stop, so on and so forth. So the use date, you can choose a date you want to test. Generally speaking, the more historical data that you test over, the more accurate the results can be, just because it shows how an EA can survive or not survive through various different market conditions. Period. This is the time frame, so I always stick to the 1 hour and above, simply because there's less noise, in my opinion, in the lower chart time frames, and therefore we can get more reliable signals. Okay, and the 1 hour is a sweet spot between less noise but more frequent signals compared to, say, the 4 hour or the daily, but each to their own. For the spread, I just use the current spread for testing purposes. This will just take the market spread at the time we start the test. Just bear in mind, if you do plan on doing some testing over the weekend, the market spreads are usually a lot higher than usual. So you can always just manually adjust the spread in there. Okay, so we go to the expert properties now. This is the various settings that you can change. Got the name there, so you can just call it whatever you want in there. This will just be what's displayed in your order history. Okay, so pop-up alerts. When pop-up alerts are set to true, you basically get a pop-up window like this one that will say buy signal, euro dollar 1 hour chart, or sell signal, euro dollar daily chart. It just depends on the instruments and time frames you are trading. This is useful because you might want to be simultaneously tracking, I don't know, 10 charts, 20 charts. It just saves you needing to sift through manually all of those charts. You just get an alert, and yeah, you can fire up the chart and see if there's a trading opportunity, or if you need to perhaps adjust a trade that's already opened. Email alerts is the same. It will just send you the alert via email, which is handy if you're not at your computer, or you're not watching the platform and you just want to get a notification via email, and then act accordingly. Same with the SMS alerts. Use trading. When use trading is set to true, this basically means that the EA will be able to place and manage trades on your behalf. You can have use trading set to true and pop-up alerts set to true, so that you get an alert when a trade's placed, then you can quickly check on your platform just to make sure everything is fine. Okay. For example, you might want to use trading and an alert. Have the EA set an initial stop loss of 50 pips, but then receive an alert, okay, a trade's been placed, the stop loss 50 pips. And you might just want to go into the chart and see if you can perhaps adjust that stop loss to, I don't know, for example, a recent high or a recent low. Okay. Or you can just set the EA to do the trading for you like that. Days fill are self-explanatory. This is basically the days of the week that the EA can trade. Same with the hours filter. So you can choose your trading hours. Perhaps you want to use a strategy that relies on lots of market movement, plenty of liquidity. So you want to only trade during working hours, depending on the currency pair that you're trading. For example, if you are trading the euro dollar, these hours are based on universe UTC time. So you probably want to go, if you're trading the euro dollar, you want when Europe markets and the New York market is open. So you're going to look around London 8 to perhaps around 20, if not before, something like that. Okay, so 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening UTC. This just tends to be more liquidity on the euro dollar during those times. But then, you know, if you're using a scalping strategy, then you might just want to start in the evening and go through the night during an Asian session on a non-guppy, Japanese yen, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, etc. pair. Okay. Magic number, this is the order ID, set to 1 and 2 by default for buy and sell trades. This is just handy if you're running other EAs on the chart and you don't want them to clash. Other EAs on the platform, that is. Maximum spread, maximum slippage. The EA won't take a trade if the spread or slippage from your broker is greater than these values, which are in pips. This is to avoid trading in unfavorable market conditions. Money management, so open orders limit set to 1 by default. This is the maximum number of open buy and or open sell trades you can have at any time, just to prevent duplicate trades if there are multiple signals in consecutive order. Lots, this is the lot size, position size you want to take. The EA will only use lots if you have user is set to false. If you have user is set to true, the EA will ignore this lots field and instead calculate the lot size based on the risk percentage that you set here. Okay. One standard lot in that instance, because use risk is false, one standard lot. Stop loss, take profit, self-explanatory, values in pips as well. Close opposite signal. This basically means if set to true, when there's a signal in the opposite direction, the EA will close an open trade. Break even and trailing stop. Okay, this can be good to lock in profit and try to maximize moves as much as possible. For example, if you didn't have a take profit and didn't even close an opposite signal, you can instead use a break even and set the EA to, I don't know, break even, let's say at 50 pips, at which point the EA will move the stop loss to break even point and then trail the price by, let's say, 25 pips. So every 25 pips, stop loss will be moved that distance from the current price. Close percent, every time the stop loss is moved, you can close a percentage of the order if you wish. For example, close 50% of whatever's remaining every 25. Well, the initial break-even point, close 50%, then every 25 pips, close another 50% until the minimum lot is reached. The minimum lot to close, that is. We're trading one standard lot and we set it at 0.5. Basically, the EA will keep closing 50% of the order until there's only 0.5 left. Or let's just say 0.2, it will close half, close another half, and then won't close any more once the minimum lot is remaining. If you set it greater than the current lot size that you're using, no percentage of the order will be closed, but the break even and trailing stop will still be moved for you. You just keeping the whole position open for as long as possible until your trailing stop break even takes you out of a trade. Okay, so it can be customized according to your personal preferences. I don't really like to use rigid levels when it comes to take profit because there may be much more than 100 pips available. There may be much less. It just depends on what the market's doing. Same with the stop loss. Stop loss wouldn't always be 50 pips. It just depends. Whereas the most recent high, the most recent low, may even manually close a trade before stop loss is hit, which is why you can use this semi-automated. You can have signals when certain things happen that might make you want to close an order or part of an order as well. And saying that, we can get to the indicators for entry and exit. So moving average. So these are simple moving averages. If you set the moving average here to true, if price is above this SMA value, it will be a buy signal. If price is below, it will be a sell signal. Okay, simple as that. So if you only have that set to true, you'll get a signal every time price is above, crosses above or below the SMA. For the moving average crossover, this fast one must cross above this slow one for there to be a buy signal, or the fast must close below the slow for there to be a sell signal. And you can use them both combined. So what you can do is you could have moving average set to true. So let's just say a 200 moving average filter. So we'll only buy above or sell below. And then the crossover has to happen above or below if you're using both there. Ichimoku. Okay, so this is the various settings of the Ichimoku that you can set to true or false, along with the periods which can be adjusted. I do have plenty of videos and articles that cover each of these various aspects of the Ichimoku, so you can always check them out for in-depth detail of how the indicator works and the different ways in which you can implement it within your trading. I'm assuming that if you are watching this video and you've made it this far, you do have some knowledge of the indicator, so you should know what the majority of these do. If not, do check out the other videos and articles, which will be sure to inform you more. Okay, so that's the basic overview of the settings. You can see here a test that I've run. Decent, not too bad. Could be better. So speaking of that, let's get down to some optimization. Before we do that, I think it's important to note that optimization is a quite touchy subject because you can over optimize or curve fit, which basically means throw enough stuff at the wall that some of it sticks without necessarily getting the best settings. So optimization, what you need to do is you can check a box, any of these boxes here of a setting you'd like to optimize. So for example, stop loss, if you check that, this is the start field. So you can start at, let's say 25, you step at 25 and stop at 100. And what this will do, it will test the stop loss at 25 pips, 50 pips, 75 pips, and 100 pips. That's because you're starting at 25, you're going up in 25 increments, the step, and you're stopping at 100. Okay, and then you've checked that, so we're going to optimize the stop loss. The strategy tester in MT4 will run all different combinations and tell you the different performance using different levels of stop loss. You can do that for various settings, so we'll do it for take profit as well. Take profit either 0, 50, all the way up to, let's say, 200. So that will test 0, 50, 100, 150, and 200. Close opposite signal, we can test true or false by checking that. Break even, true or false by checking that. Okay, and we can also break even point, we can say break even at 25 pips. 25 step up to 100. Trailing stop, true or false, again, 25 steps up to 100. Close percent, close 0, 25 up to 75. Minimum lot to close 0.25. Let's go 0.25 up to 1. We are trading one standard lot. So you see all these settings that we've checked so far are the combinations that will be optimized. And we'll also optimize the indicators. We'll choose the values we want to optimize. So SMA, the moving average filter, let's do 50, 50 steps up to 200. Fast, we'll do 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Slow, I think we can do 35, 35, 105. So I'll test 35, 70, and 105. Ichimoku, we can test all these true or false, but we'll leave the periods the same there because we don't want to give too much to optimize. Now we've selected quite a lot there. Okay, and what you'll find is that you can over optimize or curve fit, as I said, which basically means the strategy tester will combine all these settings and find something that looks good when it's not necessarily good. It's just you've made it good for the data set that you're using. So whether that's the last 6 months of the euro dollar, the last year of the pound dollar, it basically, it's not necessarily an accurate representation of how good those settings are. You've just fitted it to the data that you're using. Whereas I much prefer a logical strategy. For example, logical strategy, I would be like, okay, moving average set to true, 200 SMA. So if we just plot one of those on the chart, okay, so 200 SMA, I'd be quite happy to have that set to true at 200 because I want alerts when price is below this, or about below for a sell trade, or above for a buy trade. Okay, and then you might want to do a moving average crossover at true. So give me an alert when the 14 moving average crosses the 35 below the SMA, it crosses it down below, or when the 14 crosses the 35 in an upwards direction above the SMA. And that's exactly what having all the Ichimoku set to false, but the moving averages both set to true, the trend and the crossover would do. So it sends you an alert where there's a crossover, either above or below the 200. Okay, whether that's for you to then place a trade manually, for you to, or for it to automatically place a trade for you, depending on your trading strategy. Okay, so with the optimization, you've got this optimization tab here. You can choose if you want ticking these boxes. If, okay, for example, maximal drawdown, if you check that, that means it will only give you results where the maximal drawdown is 20%. However, I just leave all of these off because I like to see all results because it gives me an idea of what works and what doesn't. Under the testing tab here, you've got this genetic algorithm. Okay. If you check that, the strategy tester in MT4 will only test what it deems will give you the best results. So it only do combinations that are highly likely to produce good results. If you uncheck it, it will do every possible combination, which, depending on how many of these you've got selected, can take a long time, depending on your processing power as well of your computer. But generally, I just leave that checked. Long and short, so if you want the H trade, long only, short only, or long and short, and the initial deposit for the test. Okay, this long and short is handy if for example, you can see the market is in a downtrend here, then you may only want to receive sell signals. So you can always just set it to short only in that instance. Okay, so that's all of the settings. Then you click this optimization button, you choose the data. So we're going to do the last 4 to 5 months. We click start, and now what happens is the strategy tester will run every possible combination of those settings that we've just selected to be optimized. And you click optimization results, and it will show you the results of all the different combinations. So like with a 50 stop loss, a 75, a 25, take profit at different values. So it just combines all the various settings possibilities, and to show you the various results from those combinations. And you can sort them by profit, for example. Okay, doesn't necessarily mean it will be the best setting. You can sort it by profit factor. Okay, a lot of these results are very similar. By drawdown, if you want less drawdown, that's more important to you. You can sort it according to what matters to you the most. Okay, so I usually just sort by profit. Okay, we just double click it, and then when you double click the results, it will load those particular settings into the EA settings for you here, and you can just click save if you want to save them to use at a later date. Name them what you like, and you can just load them when you attach the EA to your chart. So if you want to run another test later down the line, okay, you can click start with optimization unchecked, and we'll run the test with those particular settings. And the graph is upwards. It's looking nice. However, what we've done there is we've optimized. I mean, we started with was it a 10K initial? No, it was 100K, but still, it's a 10K profit, which is fantastic in the space of, a 10% profit in the space of a few months is great. But what we've done is we've optimized for that particular data set. So I'm pretty sure if we just go back, let's go back 2 years. Okay, then run the test again. Look at the graph, and that's what happens. And we can pretty much pinpoint exactly where we started optimization. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say here, well, yeah, it was October, wasn't it? So it's more or less bang to the day there we did the optimization. But before, the results were terrible. Okay, so that just goes to show that we over optimized for that particular data set. Okay, so we don't want to get deluded and think that we've got a fantastic EA based on some random settings that we've just thrown together and optimized and hoped for the best without actually putting some consideration, proper consideration into the strategy that is implemented within it. Okay, so we can do all kind of random, let's just let's just chuck in those settings, and now we'll try to optimize over that longer term time frame and see what results we get. So we're still on the 1 hour chart. We're just, because we went back 2 years, now we're just doing optimization over that data. And again, what we're doing is we're letting the strategy tester do every possible combination of settings to give us what looks like a good combination of settings for the euro dollar 1 hour chart. And you can do this for every instrument and every time frame. And chances are you will find, you will find some good settings. I mean, you can see there are some good results here. However, what we're doing is we're overfitting, we're curve fitting, over optimizing for the historical data that we're using. Okay, hopefully I haven't bored you to death if you've made it this far, but I'm just trying to emphasize the importance of not getting carried away with backtests. Like, the strategy tester is limited as it is with his 90% modeling quality when using tick data, unless you're of course implementing a third-party tick data software, is limited as it is, not necessarily accounting for commissions or variable spreads or real slippage, broker tactics that may be impacting trading activity. So not only do you have those problems, you have the fact that you could just be randomizing settings over a specific data set, which may not necessarily be good. Which is why I think it's important to learn how to trade, to learn, like, look at this. You can see here, okay? It's a bit of a messy chart with Ichimoku on there, in my opinion, but just remove this grid. We could see resistance here, okay? And we can see support here, okay? See that there? That's clear as day, right? And there's a breakout down and the market's falling. Price is below this moving average. Ichimoku's all nice in the downward direction, nicely in order, okay? That's logical that you can look at that and then perhaps, okay, we're in a downtrend, let me time my entry. So how am I going to time my entry? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for a pullback. I mean, that's a pretty, perhaps early entry there. No, that's a decent level of support. You might have been watching this triple top formation, support, breakout. That would have been a good trade. If you were late to the party on that one, don't worry. Another support level, pullback, support, breakout, support becomes resistance, clear as day, sell entry into that trend there. Okay, and you can use the EA to help give you these signals when the price crosses above this line here. When price is below the 200 SMA, perhaps when there's a moving average cross, either for a pullback or a breakout trade. Okay, now let's look at our optimization. Okay, we'll sort by profit and go to the top. Great, this one looks good. Let's double click that. So that loads the settings for us as we know. We double click it, it loads the settings in here. Click start to run it. And that looks fantastic. Yeah, let's package that up and sell it, shall we? No, because we've over optimized for the particular data set that we are using. Okay, and whilst that looks good back for 3 odd years, let's go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's push it back. Let's go back to 2017 and run those same settings that look so fantastic. See what happens. That's what happens. Why does that happen? Because we over optimized for the data set that we were testing on. And I'm pretty sure when it picked up, was it 21? It's got to be around here. There you go. Almost to the day again. It was October 21, wasn't it? Almost to the day we can pick where the optimization started. anything before is not fantastic because we over optimized. Okay, which is why I just encourage, if you do want to use my free EAs, use them to help you with your trading strategies, with with your own signals, like this example I gave here. Let's look for you might even just want to just manually eyeball the charts yourself and see, okay, I can see we're in an uptrend here. I'm going to set the EA to give me alerts when there's an MA crossover, when the Ichimoku signals a buy trade, because I know we're in an uptrend, so I only want long buy signals on the euro dollar 1 hour chart at this time. And you can do the same for multiple charts, not even be at your computer and get a ping. That trend that you were watching on the pound dollar 4 hour chart? There's been an Ichimoku signal on it. Great. Jump on your chart, double check it, take the trade, stop loss below the recent low or above the recent high, and you're good to go. And perhaps get an alert for an exit. Put a bit of effort into it. Don't just randomly throw loads of settings together and hope for the best. Okay? That's my opinion anyway. Hopefully you found something useful in this video. Help yourself to the EA, have a play around. And I've got many other free EAs that you can use as well. Please like and subscribe if you found this useful, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.